Fabian left home on Friday morning, as usual, planning to spend the weekend away. It had become almost routine, hitting the road, breathing in some different air, getting away from the chaos of the city. But that Friday, everything went off script. In the late afternoon, a call from work changed his plans. An unexpected issue forced him to return. It was past 8 o'clock at night when he entered the condominium gate. He was tired, annoyed, and just wanted to park, go upstairs, take a shower, and deal with everything in the morning. But as soon as he rounded the building, came the surprise. His parking space was taken. He looked for alternatives, but every spot was full. Every single one. The only free space was out on the street, outside the condo, and that alone was enough to irritate anyone. After all, he paid for a space that, now, was being used by someone else. Frustrated, he called the front desk. "Good evening, front desk," answered the doorman, sounding unenthusiastic. "This is Fabian, from 302. My parking spot is taken. Do you know whose car that is?" There was a brief pause. "Oh, it belongs to Donna Need's son, from 204. She said you were traveling, asked if he could leave the car there until Monday. Said everything was cleared with the building manager." Fabian took a deep breath, controlling his tone. "Then please let her know I'm back, and I need my spot now." "That's not allowed. You'd better talk to her directly. I'll give you her number." Without wasting time, Fabian called Nide. She answered with a careless tone. "Hello, Donna Nide. This is Fabian from 302. I need that car removed from my spot. I came back earlier than planned, and have nowhere to park." "Hey, weren't you traveling?" "I spoke to Walter. He approved it. My son's staying the whole weekend. He'll move it on Monday. The problem is, I'm back, and now I don't have a place to leave my car." "Oh, Fabian, come on, don't make a fuss. Just park on the street, will you? It'll all be sorted out by Monday." And she hung up. He got even more irritated and tried to call again, but she didn't pick up. On edge, he called the building manager. Walter answered with a sleepy voice, as if anything interrupting his rest was an insult. "What's up, Fabian? Something wrong?" "Yes, my spot's taken by the neighbor's son. They said you approved it." "Well, you travel every weekend. How was I supposed to know you'd come back?" "That's not the point. The spot is mine. You can't let someone else use it without my permission. You should talk to me." Walter let out a short laugh. "All right, Fabian, I get you're upset. But it's done now, okay? He'll stay there until Monday. That's it. It's not the end of the world to park on the street for one night." "This is absurd. Why should I park on the street when I have a spot? He's the one who should move the car." "Look, Fabian, I'm not waking people up at this hour. It won't hurt you to park outside just for one day." "I'm not doing that. It's disrespectful. If you don't fix this, I'll call a tow truck." "I'd let it go if I were you. If you call a tow truck, I can fine you for disorderly conduct." "Is that what you want?" "Silence. Good night, Fabian." The manager hung up. Fabian looked at the car wrongly parked in his spot again, then at the dark street, where he'd have to leave his own vehicle exposed, vulnerable, unjustly. At that moment, one thing became clear to him: if they wanted a fight, they'd get one. And he wasn't backing down. Fabian didn't waste time. He got out of the car, leaned against the gate, and called the tow service from his phone. He explained the situation briefly and gave the address. "Can you come now?" he asked. "Yes, we can. We'll be there in 20 minutes. While he waited, he stood there, arms crossed, staring at the car in his spot. He was angry, but it wasn't just that. It was a cold, steady kind of anger, the kind that doesn't yell, it acts. Soon, the tow truck arrived. A big truck, high beams on. The driver got out, assessed the situation, and confirmed the removal. "This the one." "That's it. Private parking, residential building. Parked without authorization. Take it away." All good. Fabian signed the papers. The car was hooked up quickly. No one showed up to stop it. In less than 10 minutes, the vehicle was on its way to the lot. Fabian watched it like someone watching justice being served. When the truck left, he simply pulled his own car into the now empty spot, free, as it should have been from the start. He went upstairs, took a shower, and for the first time that night, took a deep breath. He knew this would stir up trouble, but he didn't care. Not tonight. He was tired of being the only one who followed rules that everyone else ignored. The next morning, the phone rang. It was the doorman. "Mr. Fabian, Donna Nide is at the front desk. She wants to talk to you. She's quite upset." "Put her through." "You sure?" "Yes." The call was connected. Need's voice came through, shouting. "What kind of nonsense was that? You had my son's car towed." "Yes, I did. It was in my spot without permission." "Are you insane? That's a crime." "Who do you think you are?" "The one whose spot was taken. If you want to fix it, talk to the lot and pay the towing fee. It's not my problem. You'll regret this." "Just wait. I'm going to cause a scene in this building. You'll see. He hung up. The morning had barely started, and the war was officially declared. Sunday began quietly, at least on the surface. Fabian woke up a bit later than usual, had a silent breakfast, and opened his laptop to catch up on some work. He tried to focus, but the conversation with Nide from the day before still echoed in his mind. Around 11 in the morning, he went down to go to the market. As he got to his car, he stopped. 2 tires were completely flat. He crouched down and touched the front right tire. Soft. Then the rear one. Same thing. They'd been slashed. He knew right away. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't a coincidence. It was revenge. He looked around, took a deep breath, and went back upstairs, straight to his apartment without saying a word. He called his friend Paulo, a trusted civil police officer, who had helped him before. Hey Fabian, everything alright? As alright as it can be with 2 flat tires. Someone slashed my car last night. Got cameras? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was. Then don't touch anything. Don't call a tire service yet. File an online police report, and write down the number. I'll come by this afternoon. We'll check the footage and gather what we need. Thanks, Paulo. I've had enough of this. Leave it to me. We'll sort it out properly. That afternoon, Paulo showed up with a flash drive and his ID badge. He spoke with the doorman and got access to the surveillance footage. The two went into the monitoring room. The security guard pulled up footage from midnight to 4 a.m. It didn't take long. There she was, Nide, hoodie on, but not well covered, and a key in her hand. She walked stealthily toward the car, looked around, crouched, and slid her hand under the tire. She did it twice. Fast, precise, then walked off as if nothing had happened. Paulo handed the footage to Fabian. Here, got it. Is this enough? It's a start. You've got the report, the footage, the motive, and witnesses to the argument. Now just hold on to everything. And one more thing. What? We checked other footage. That woman hasn't just done this. What do you mean? You'll see in the videos. But it goes deeper than we thought. Fabian watched the footage and fell silent. The anger had given way to a kind of relief. Now he had proof, and an ace up his sleeve. That night, he went to bed with a plan forming. He wasn't going to solve anything with shouting. He was going to solve it the right way, with public exposure and consequences. And the next condo assembly would be the perfect stage. Monday morning, Fabian waited for the building manager to finish his usual inspection, and went to the administrative office. Walter, the manager, was sitting with his feet on the desk, sipping coffee from a mug. Hey, Fabian, Walter said, without taking his eyes off his phone. Managed to relax after the weekend mess? Fabian kept his tone calm. Relax. Not really. Still dealing with the damage. Oh, come on. It's sorted now, right? The car was towed, everything's fine. I said the spot was free, 'cause you're always traveling. Walter, this is a different issue. I came to let you know I filed a police report. 2 of my car's tires were slashed between Saturday night and Sunday morning, and I have video footage of our neighbor and I doing it. Walter slowly looked up. You're kidding. I'm not. The camera shows everything. She walks up to the car, kneels down, and punctures both tires. I took it to the police, and I've already spoken to my lawyer. But before escalating this legally, I wanted to handle it as a resident. Walter straightened up in his chair, more alert. Okay, and what do you plan to do? At the next condo meeting, I'll bring it as an official agenda item. I'm requesting Nide and her family be expelled from the building, based on the footage and police report. Walter scratched his head, clearly uncomfortable. Expelling someone is a bit harsh, Fabian. It's the least. I was disrespected, threatened, and now sabotaged. Condo rules apply to everyone, and I'm going to show that video there. Walter sighed and leaned his elbows on the desk. All right, I'll add it to the agenda. But you know how it is. This could stir things up. The mess already happened. Now it's just about consequences. Before leaving, Fabian made one last remark. If I were you, I'd give them a heads up, just so they show up to see what I'm about to reveal. Walter nodded silently. Fabian walked out. Less than half an hour later, Walter knocked on Nide's apartment door. She opened it, clearly annoyed. What is it now, Walter? Just here to let you know Fabian added an item to the next meeting's agenda. He wants to present a video and request your family's expulsion from the condo. It's about what happened over the weekend. Nide froze for a second but masked it with disdain. Expulsion. He's the one who should be kicked out. Just trying to make a scene. Arnaldo, Nide's husband, appeared in the hallway, towel over his shoulders. What's he going to show? He says he's got camera footage, and plans to show it to everyone. And what's his claim? Nide pressed, crossing her arms. According to him, you slashed his car tires. Arnaldo turned to her slowly. You slashed his tires, Nide. She hesitated. Arnaldo, he provoked us, embarrassed us. I can't believe this, Nide. Why would you do that? So what? I just slashed them. Didn't blow up the car. He started it. Arnaldo took a deep breath and ran a hand down his face. Well done. Now you've put us in a fine mess. Walter took a step back. The meeting's Friday, 7 p.m. It's going to be packed. You better show up. Fabian's coming for blood. He turned and walked down the stairs, leaving the couple in silence. Nide sat tensely on the couch. We're going to have to show our side of the story. Say he called the tow truck without warning us. We need to get the residents on our side. You messed up, Nide. You shouldn't have done that. She looked at him, distressed. You're still with me, right? Of course. You screwed up, but this is a bit much. On the night of the meeting, the condo hall was packed. The atmosphere was tense. Everyone wanted to know why the resident from apartment 302 had urgently requested an extra agenda item. Fabian was there, outwardly calm, but boiling inside. Nide and Arnaldo arrived just before the meeting started, both visibly tense. Walter, the manager, tried to keep things light with awkward jokes, while discreetly sweating. When it was Fabian's turn to speak, he stood up, plugged a flash drive into the computer connected to the projector, and looked around the room with determination. Good evening. I'm here to report a case of ongoing disrespect and harassment that has gone way too far. My car was prevented from parking in the spot that legally belongs to me. I complained. I was ignored, threatened, and then my tires were slashed. I filed a police report and sought legal advice. But before taking this to court, I want you all to see the footage so we can deal with it here. He picked up the remote and pressed play. Everyone expected to see tires being deflated, but that wasn't what came up. The screen clearly showed Nide in the arms of the building manager Walter, inside the building's front office. In an intimate moment, right in the middle of the night, the reaction was instant. Murmurs quickly turned into gasps and scattered screams. Arnaldo stood up abruptly. Nide, he shouted, eyes wide. With the manager, Nide froze. Walter turned pale. Arnaldo didn't hesitate. He lunged at the manager, releasing years of pent-up rage. You bastard, he yelled, grabbing Walter by the collar. The hall descended into chaos. Neighbors rushed to break up the fight. Chairs toppled. Shouts echoed. Walter tried to free himself while Nide screamed, trying to hold Arnaldo back. Stop. Arnaldo, stop it. Cheating on me in our own building. Arnaldo roared. After a struggle, two neighbors managed to separate them. Walter's shirt was torn, he was sweating, and his face was flushed. Fabian, silent, retrieved his flash drive without another word. He gave one last cold look to the group and walked out the door, leaving the chaos behind. The video of the affair was far more effective than the one of the slashed tires. The night had barely ended, and the consequences were already unfolding clearly. Arnaldo didn't sleep at the apartment. He spent the night at a friend's house. The next day, he came back only to grab some clothes and documents. He didn't say much. He just asked for a divorce. It's over, Nide. I don't want to hear excuses or justifications. You humiliated me. You made me look like a fool. Nide tried to argue, but the mood wasn't right. Anything she said would just make things worse. Arnaldo slammed the door behind him, and she was left standing alone in the middle of the living room. That same afternoon, with no other option, she went to see Walter. Arnaldo asked for a divorce. That bastard ruined my marriage over that damn parking spot. Well, at least now we can be together. Arnaldo's out of the way. Walter took a while to respond. He looked at her with a mix of anger and resentment. Do you really think I'd be with you after everything that happened? He snapped. Nide, I lost my job. I got fired today. The building management didn't even wait for the next meeting. She was in shock. She didn't know what to say. You and your stubbornness caused all this. All you had to do was move the car. That's it. But no. You had to confront him, cause a scene, slash his tire. Now look at us. I'm unemployed. You're divorced. And everyone in the condo WhatsApp groups is talking about us. Nide didn't respond. She just felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. In the days that followed, Nide only left the house when absolutely necessary, always wearing dark sunglasses, avoiding neighbors and dodging glances. The jokes were inevitable. The elevator silence, even more so. In less than a week, she sold the apartment, packed her things and moved out. Fabian had finally gotten his problem solved. The building breathed a sigh of relief. Months passed since the infamous meeting. The building gradually returned to its normal rhythm. The gossip gave way to new topics. The new building manager was a longtime resident, discreet, elected almost unanimously. His first move was to implement stricter rules for shared spaces and community behavior. Nide. She was never seen again. Rumor said she had moved to a distant neighborhood, where no one knew her story. Maybe she was trying to start over, or maybe she was just running from the shame. She tried to get back with Arnaldo, but he never took her back. Walter, the former manager, was now working as a doorman at a commercial building downtown. The authority he once commanded had become just a memory. His name still echoed as a warning of what not to do. Fabian, on the other hand, moved on with his life, and never had problems with his parking spot, or with neighbors. Again, the story became an internal legend in the condo. One of those tales whispered in small circles, with a "did you know" vibe, always with a few exaggerated details. But one lesson was crystal clear to everyone: in a condo, what seems small can turn into a scandal. And disrespect, when ignored, comes at a high price. So what would you do if you were in Fabian's shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We really want to hear from you. And if this story kept you hooked, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. New dramas, new dilemmas, every week. See you in the next story.